David Hammond, Jones Avenue. Do I have to give the number?
Yeah.
104. Double 104.
And there's a 5-minute time limit.
All right, thank you. Are you done? Sounds like there's a lot of action going on at the dog park, but I appreciate you guys, all the stuff that y'all do up here. There is a problem with Seneca, particularly Oconee County. Seneca plays a small role in it, and it is our officials. I know a lot of us have had that preferred life. I lived over on Perry Hill and the Mill Hill my whole life when I lived in Seneca. I went from 9th grade at Seneca High School to the East Washington homeless shelter when I was in the 9th grade. So I'm a lifelong Seneca resident too. I don't speak but one more language unless you count redneck, and that other stuff is a second language, and I'm privileged to speak too. But we do have problems with some of our elected officials, and some of them aren't towing the line that we're supposed to have as far as Oconee citizens and proud Seneconians. And those people are being brought up. Those people are starting to fall in our lap. And I think that a lot of people think that with Trump up in Washington is fixing the problem of the swamp up there. There's swamp critters here too. And it's up to us as in our community to clean those people up. And I'm not saying I don't know any of y'all. I've never been to any of y'all's houses. I'll probably never be invited unless you want me to cut your yard or clean up some trash or something. But the stuff that needs to be fixed are the people that need, y'all are the people that need to fix it, because y'all are supposed to carry the big stick that you hear about in the movies. And I can't agree with Jason Boyle more. He hasn't lived here a whole long time, but he has really put a voice to the weak people in this town, because nobody else has stood up and found those weak people. I was one of those weak people when I happened upon his his YouTube channel. And Oconee County DSS. How many of us in here have been investigated by DSS? I'm positive not one of y'all have been investigated. I've been investigated 13 times in the past 6 years, 5 times since last February. They jerked my mom out of the house when I called the ambulance to bring her to the hospital up at Oconee Memorial. I had a doctor's appointment in Anderson. By the time I made it back from Anderson to Oconee Memorial Hospital, when I called the ambulance for 911 for my mom's fever, they already put her in emergency protective custody. I mean, you talk about quick. I begged them not to put her into that. I didn't even know the degree of how severe something like that even was. It just the name was intimidating. But they shipped her 150 miles down to Aiken, South Carolina, at the 5th worst nursing home in South Carolina. Not only that, but they put her from where I had her, full code to where she was dying. We could plug her up to every machine and allow time for my brother in Ohio to come down here to say his goodbye to our mother, because he lives about 500 miles away. They took her from full code once she was in their custody and put her on to a do not resuscitate. Now, that is a problem. That is Obama's death panels that everybody said wasn't going to happen during the health care thing, or when he wanted to give national health care. That's the problem that we're running into, is the poor people. And we're the people that do come to y'all's houses. And we're the ones that do clean up your yard, that wipe your elderly's asses when y'all need people there for your parents. We're the ones who do it. Y'all need to look out for us. We're not all criminals. Some of us, I was a criminal, but hell, after the 9th grade, I didn't have an education. Selling dope on Perry Hill was no different than me than her going up and getting a college degree at Clemson. But we still deserve everybody's help in our strides, and in hers and everybody's. And Jason most definitely has a story that he should tell. His wife was done dirty. I mean, they just gave her full permission to rip the stuff out of the warehouse and take it with them. I can't imagine how I would feel. But there's one that's greater than me and Jason. There's another story that's not being heard. This is a man that was practicing law. If it wasn't for that man telling me how to write law words onto a piece of paper, I would have never had the petition to go in front of the court up in Walhalla and tell them that I want my mama home, because she was a vulnerable adult that's lived with me for 10 years. I went through cancer with her right up here at the hospital. I took her to all her chemos and all her radiation. Me by myself, with an autistic son, that's 17 and nonverbal. And never had a problem with out of anybody, because we stayed below the scenes. That crazy girl y'all see in Seneca that talks to herself, I brought her back to our house so she'd have a place to stay. They never intervene in her life. They see these crazy people. I take them home and give them food and give them money. But they took my mom from me, and man, they took my mom in October 10th. I begged the officer not to take my mama. I haven't seen her but 2 times since then because the elderly home told me that I'm not allowed to record my mama. Thank you, sir. I appreciate your time.
Thank you, Dad. Thank you.